Alright guys, I'm back. I'm here to talk about more news in the kickboxing and Muay Thai sphere. And before we do that, I'm going to do some shilling on my part. So if you guys please want to check out my interview with Luke Lessei, it's over on the Low Kick MMA channel. 10-15 minute interview, my first interview I've ever done with a pro fighter. I didn't expect to get this far since I started the channel, but hey, here I am. I asked him a lot of good questions. He basically like, hey, how's your life? How's everything been? How's it feel? He doesn't got a fight yet. Basically just the catching up with Luke Lessei. I'm not going to spoil it. Just want you guys to check it out. It's not that long. It's only 15 minutes. Other than that, though, again, your boy's bossing up in this world. So don't be hating. Don't be hating. No hate. There's no hating in this area. Support your boy, Mr. Chirac. Other than that, though, let's move on to the first real kickboxing news. All right, Glory 100. They added 2 title fights to day 2. Alright, and what we got here is the featherweight and middleweight kickboxing titles that they added. There's Michael Paez rematching with Don Weiss. And we got Petch against Trinidad 2, this time for the real belt. Both of them at 100%. Not in the final of a tournament like they did at the end of the year. So it's going to be a gas one. Both of the fights are up on, first of all, Don Weiss and Paez fight was crazy. And that was like, when that fight, that's when I realized how good Johnathan Di Bella was, because normally, like, guys with Paez style, because Paez pretty complete, but his defense is very blocking focused, and Paez just knew how to deal with the pressure, and even though he was moving backwards, he just knew how to deal with an incredible fight. Same with this fight, I thought Trinidad kind of won, but maybe I'm biased. But Glory 100, man, Glory 100 is looking good as shit, and, like, it's going to be one of the most critical events in kickboxing modern history. And I do think that. I do actually think that's why I wrote that. So, yeah, man, Glory 100, like, it's such a stacked thing. It's the biggest thing kickboxing has done in recent memory since once did. Remember the one featherweight Grand Prix and those Grand Prix that they would do? Remember when one ran kickboxing for like 2 to 3 years and it was awesome, and then they said, actually, we don't like making money and we actually don't like success, so fuck kickboxing. Let's just focus on Muay Thai and grappling. And yeah, that didn't work, didn't it? So because now they're refocusing on it because they know more money isn't actually in freaking kickboxing right now, because Muay Thai is not big enough yet in the West, especially in America, where clearly they want to market it, but they're failing. While Glory's doing the right thing, I'm going to be on the zone and all that. So yeah, man, I actually called off work that day so I can live stream it, so we're going to be doing fight companions. I don't know if I'm going to do a fight companion for day 1 and 2. I want to, but I don't know if I can do it. But I'm going to try to figure that out for you guys. But other than that, though, it's going to be a sick fucking event. 3 title fights on one card, and they still haven't even announced the whole card. And of course, we got Tariq Kababas versus, god damn it, that guy he rematched, that dude, the Lithuanian guy with his unpronounceable name, because that's how Eastern European names are, keyboard smash name. I forgot his name, but he used to be the champion. Then he lost to Ohania Bena, who then lost the belt to Tariq Kababas. But that's a sad point. Kind of old news. I'll talk about that later. Probably when I do my Glory 100 prediction. And I'll probably only predict like the important events. But other than that, though, let's go on to the next thing right away. Kaito Ono, shockingly, gets rebooked. Not shockingly, because Chatri like basically applied. Basically, when Chatri crashed out, like after 1172, because Kaito was like, yeah, I'm not gonna just fight Gregorian after he missed weight, even though. That's a tough one, man, because he's in his right to say, no, I'm not fighting you because you missed weight. But catch weights happen all the time, and the way the structure is you kind of like, you kind of do expect someone like Kaito to take that fight. But it's one of those things where, like, there's a lot of questions about him. But I'm just glad that he's back and that one is now playing ball with the Japanese promotions as they should. One's approach of, like, Dana White, like, Kaito Ono's a piece of shit. Fuck every Japanese promotion, which is quite literally what he does. And I'll get into that because I think in this article too I included that. This is going to be a banger because it's Mohammad Saisarani. And Mohammad Saisarani is a good fighter, man. He's good at kickboxing and Muay Thai. He's another Medis at Tukai. And again, these Medis at Tukais are really good. He beat Lu Mengyang, who beat Noiri. Again, Saisarani can kickbox and do Muay Thai. He's really good at that lightweight division, at that featherweight division. He's good. He's a good big guy, good Iranian fighter. And it's one of those things where I'm just happy. This is good for one. One has to realize that if they want to break into Japan, they can't actively just shit on all of the Japanese talent So yeah, I don't know what to think of that. It's just a bad idea to shit on them. And again, like, let me pause this. Oh shit. Put this back here. Excuse me. Right here, right? So again, Lu Mingyang, again, like when Saisarani, he fought Lu Mingyang, they fought down. They fought hard. It was a great fight. It was a really good fight. Again, he got touched up. I like all of his qualities. Mohammad Saisarani, good fighter, very exciting. Not much negative things I can say about him. And again, like, a thing that people forget about Ono is that Ono's a good fighter too. Remember, he beat Noivri, and that kind of highlighted here in this article how he beat Masaki Noivri. It was a good fight though. This is a great fight worth watching. This is back to win the match. This is like on the other card of Takeru versus Tenshin. Good fight worth watching. But other than that though, like, and again, I wrote here that Kaito kind of has to prove himself in like a bit of a hostile promotion. And why do I say that? Well, let's see what Chatri has to say about Japanese fighters getting crushed. Oh, let's play it.
Obviously a good win for Shinya, but there were some disappointing results for other Japanese athletes on the card.
I think that's the biggest challenge for Japan, is that, if you look at the last several years, doesn't matter which discipline, Japanese fighters come into one and they get crushed. And, in order for one championship to truly blow up in Japan and become, 125 million people go crazy, we need the Shohei Ohtani moment, where the best of the best in Japan, K-1, Rise, Risen, there's the best in Japan, but when they come to one championship, inevitably most of them lose. And so if you look at the Japanese record, it's a lot of losses in one. So that's the big struggle for us. We're still in the search of Shohei Ohtani. Of course, I think Takeru still can. There's still a lot of potential, but that's the biggest challenge.
Basically, Chatri's doing this thing where, like, he's kind of being Dana White, where he's like, oh yeah, we're just too good. All these other guys, they're bums. Like, kind of like we did with Strikeforce at WBC, where he's like, these guys suck. And then those guys came into the UFC and exposed everyone. They beat all the champions. The WBC did better than Strikeforce even. No, Strikeforce did good. They all became champions. Luke Rockhold, Gilbert Melendez, Dominic Snooze, Aldo. Again, Faber came close to a belt. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, it's just, again, it's a Dana White tactic that just isn't going to work, because why would the Japanese people ever watch you? Because this isn't Dana White going, hey guys, these Bellator fighters aren't good and that they won't do well, as like Eddie Alvarez wins a belt and, Bellator fighters have done well historically. Chandler, like, of course, people will be like, Will Brooks, okay, Eddie Alvarez. I understand Michael Chandler's old, but also Michael Chandler's old. There's other Bellator fighters who've done well, but that's beside the point. And what I'm getting at is that that's not the same thing, though, because when you're crapping on a guy from another promotion, okay, you're crapping on him because he fought in another promotion, as opposed to, yeah, these Japanese people suck. These people from this country, you suck. All of you suck. Like, and I know Chatri didn't say that exactly, but that's just, it's like, why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? You're trying to break into these markets. The only thing you have control over are the Southeast Asian markets, Filipinos, all these countries that are not going to net you the revenue that you want to be profitable, and you're going to go insult the Japanese? What are you doing? And the reason why is, like, we know how one does it. Rotan gets to fight Jacob Smith, Takeru gets to fight Superlek. Okay, what the hell? And he gets to miss weight and nothing like that. Superlek gets to fight Nabil Nane, have it a 3-round fight. This favoritism and shit matchmaking is clear from one. No, it's fraudulent. So when Chatri Sityodtong said this, I understand he said that, like, for the 1165 post-fight presser. That was a while ago. That was last year. He definitely changed his tune this year. But when you talk like that, that bias is still there. So a lot of people have accused Chatri, not a lot openly, but like of having really, I don't want to say like he has racial biases. I don't think that's true because he's half Thai, half Japanese. But he has these strange biases where he will absolutely shit on someone if they're not of like some sort of Asian origin, or if they're not giving him what he wants. So again, remember, like, he would shit on Johnathan Di Bella, but he would, who's a Canadian, but he wouldn't shit on the Lees. Again, everyone, if you know anything about one, you should hate the Lee family. They're cancer on MMA. I don't care what happened to them. I don't care. They're bad for the sport. They're objectively bad for the sport. Christian Lee is very talented. I hope Adrian Lee is a kid, so I'm not going to say anything about him. But when you have favoritism like that, it kills the sport, and it's disgusting. So, yeah, I can't support that from Chatri, and I hope. And again, when Japan fucked up Thailand, although he was probably happy, like, oh, yes, we had our success at 1172 when all the Japanese, the Thais lost. They went 2-6, and almost all the Japanese except Takeru, my goat, won. I'm sure Chatri was pretty excited about the fact that, yeah, man, these guys all won, but deep down he kind of wanted them to lose. But it's stupid, though. Like, it's just dumb. It doesn't make sense. You would want to quite literally over-promote in Japan. And I understand what they're doing now, the kickboxing, because Japanese care more about kickboxing. But that's just a dumb strategy. But other than that, though, on to the next. Ah, damn, same one. All right. So, we're going to talk about Rise, because I don't do that enough. All right, so this is a coverage over by our boys at Beyond Kickboxing. Got to support them. So, Rise Fireball is a good card. Very good card. But unfortunately, I'm not staying up to midnight to 7 p.m. to watch this 8-hour card. But the main events were good, man. The Kazuki Osaki, the Osaki brothers, they're really fucking good, man. I'm going to pause that there. Again, dude, like, I love watching Kazuki Osaki. He fought Corey Nicholson, again, a good Muay Thai guy. A guy who also had some good kickboxing experience. A lot of Australian good striker. Those Australians are good kickboxers, man. And I love this aggressive boxing. Like, I don't know what it is a lot of the Japanese kickboxers, but they've leveled up since the K-1 era where they kind of had to be more kick-focused. Now they have incredible boxing for kickboxing. It's really well adjusted. And they can still kick well, too. Again, Noiri probably the best. Takeru, I wouldn't say he was the first, but he's the most exciting and most wild one. And Kazuki Osaki, like, again, the way he digs, the way he doubles and triples up, as you see there, awesome. Awesome stuff. And I hope that Rise doesn't lose him because I think he's at 55 kgs or under 55 kgs. I think if one ever tried to do like a atom weight division, they would poach Kazuki Osaki and his brother. Kind of like what they're doing with the Dakio Yoshinari, where again, every division in one is dead right now. I hope they change it soon. I hope their 155 to under for everything is stacked, at least on the Muay Thai kickboxing scene, because they're not going to do it for, they can't compete with Glory. Glory runs the upper classes, but that's the point. Koki Osaki, man. Koki Osaki, another good fighter. Let me mute this. Why don't I just do this? I'm so low IQ. Alright, cool. No, don't watch on fucking X. Alright, anyway. Again, like, he fought like a former champion in the case of Moguchi, and this stuff was awesome. Oh, no, this is standing TKO. I don't think I saw this one live, but I saw the highlights of the finish on social media, and Jesus Christ. Just a brutal beatdown. I don't know if that was for a title fight. Let me check. Let me read the article here, because now I'm feeling like a casual. I shouldn't remember this. But Koki Osaki had a similar impressive report to a Rise champion. Former Rise champion. Okay, it wasn't for the belt. But he's probably be fighting for the belt next. And Mei Miyamoto. I've known about Mei Miyamoto for a while. And actually do hear that this is a good fight. Just a shit decision. But like when it comes to female kickboxing, I know people love Tessa the Calm, especially in that Beyond Kickboxing Discord and some other people that I talk to. But like I don't really follow Infusion like that because it's kind of like it's a second-rate promotion. Not in the sense that the fighters are bad, but like if you win that Infusion belt, what you really want is the Glory belt. If you're gonna stay fighting in Europe, you're gonna fight in Glory. We're gonna go to 1. It's a real world title, but it's a notch below. Like it's near that ISCA level, in my opinion. Where if you get an ISCA title, you're probably an Asian, or you're probably maybe some sort of European who didn't want to go to Infusion, or hey, you might even be from the Pan America. You might be Canadian or South American. Definitely not from the United States. It's just not gonna happen unless you're Brian McGrath, because I think he was an ISCA champion. But other than that, though, good showing by Rise. The fights were good because the cards are always good in Japan. But again, they refuse to let us watch their cards because that's just how they are. That's how the Japanese are. Now on to the next thing. Oh wait, did I touch it? Oh, okay, yeah, here. Taito Gunji. So Taito Gunji left, and so did Masashi. Who was also left? Masashi Kimura. There we go. Yeah, Masashi Kimura. Yeah, it was Masashi Kimura. The guy was the cross champion and left. So now we know what Gunji's doing. So Taito Gunji, right? Really good fighter. Pretty excited guy. Still not old. He just looks a little older because of the way his hair is. He's like 31, 32. He's trying to fight a little bit in Knockout. And for those who don't know about Knockout, they're a promotion that they invite a lot of Cambodian fighters, weirdly enough. They have a lot of Kunkumur versus Japanese kickboxing events, and they have that interesting TNA style, like 6-point ring. So it's an interesting watch, and I know some places in China kind of have that. So Taito Gunji wants to go there and probably do Muay Thai rules / Kung Fu rules, and that's going to be and because he wants to do he wants to get experience and fight in one, and I think he wants to do Muay Thai in one, and I guarantee you the reason why again. Oh, he's fighting an actual Thai. So let me again read through this thing again. So former K1 featherweight champion Taito Gunji officially, and he lost to, I forgot who he lost the title to. He lost to one of Takeru's teammates, another Team Basilis guy. Because even though so many of them left, they're still kind of running K1. Let's go, Team Goat Celius. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, again, his return to competition Tokyo early today. 8-month playoffs, an open finger glove Muay Thai rules and knockout against former Raja Jamnaran Stadium champion Pacharong. I've never heard of Pacharong because there's so many champions in Muay Thai, so I apologize for that. But all right, being one of that first wave of dudes, or recently like the first guy that recent wave who left, who weren't the Team Basilius guys. This is good. This is good. And let's read this quote by him. After leaving K1, I took my second chapter of One Finger Glove Muay Thai. I received an offer from Knockout and I accepted it. While I didn't have any fights lined up, I was training Muay Thai under Lodabet, a former Raja Learned Stadium champion. My contract at K1 has ended and I'm still under contract at my gym. One is an option, but I can't compete there yet. I want to gain experience in Knockout. I'm actually fighting one for now. I want to focus on Muay Thai. This rule includes clinch and elbows. It's scary, but my goal is to overcome that and win by KO. Basically, he's a kickboxer. He wants to do Muay Thai because clearly one has a big focus on Muay Thai, and he probably just wants to stay active. He probably wants to be like Ryusuke, who, like, again, I beat Surian, but he's really good at kickboxing and Muay Thai. So I think a lot of Japanese dudes are like, nah, fuck it. I know one loves Muay Thai, and they kind of want to pressure people into doing Muay Thai. So I'm gonna get in Muay Thai. I can kickbox. If you could, this is my thing. If you can kickbox, you can learn Muay Thai easier than a Muay Thai fighter can learn kickboxing. Point blank, Roman Kriklia, the dude cannot kickbox. He can't. Where like someone like Roman Kriklia, and I know that it's heavyweight. It's in heavyweight. Muay Thai is awful, but it's one of those things where like the people who are Muay Thai fighters who become great kickboxers, those aren't normal Muay Thai fighters. Those are either Muay Thai fighters who take a liking to kickboxing, or they're the true cream of the crop. They're the people who are so good at Muay Thai and have such an understanding of the kicks that they get it. That, like, again, because if you've seen some Muay Thai fighters that are either female or male who come do kickboxing and they still like either spam kicks or they're very rudimentary and they clearly are not kickboxing. And because of that, they lose. They either lose on points or they get fucked up because they can't handle the boxing, or the guy mixes them up with the kicks. Kickboxing is better for MMA, and I think it's a better system for things like self-defense. Like Muay Thai, it's a beautiful martial art, but it's one of those things where, like, although it is the stronger style as opposed to kickboxing, I think kickboxers like Taito Gunji will have an easier time transitioning to Muay Thai. However, the guy he's facing, he's a former Raja Damnaran Stadium champion. Not an easy fight. He's getting experience. Of course, it's a guy who probably is used to big gloves too, but it's a good fight though, and I kind of want to see this. So it's next month on Sunday. All right. I'll try to watch it, but I know it's banned because I'm from the United States, so we're not allowed to watch any kickboxing. The sport's banned in America, so I can go fuck myself. All right. And more bad news for K1 because we got K1 bantamweight champion Toma Kuroda vacates the belt and terminates contract. That's two. That's two in a row. How do you do this? How is K1 going to survive? They have to go in all on Crush or something like that. They have to build up the divisions again with homegrown talent, new stars. We might see the second fall of K1, and I don't want to see that. Even though I would like to see that because they, again, refuse to let me watch any of their events. And I have to go out of my way. And we have to do this ritualistic humiliation, rituals Americans, where we have to get VPNs to watch kickboxing. The best combat sport in the world. And we, in the best country, are being forced to do that. But in all seriousness, one wants us to watch them. Glory wants us to watch them. They just like, hey, Muay Thai and kickboxing are awesome. You should check it out. Look at our awesome social media. Look, we're making deals with the zone. K1, I know they have an issue with their rights, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm viewing this from a consumer perspective. It's unfortunate. It is just unfortunate. And I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. So, yeah. Anyway. And also another thing, there are no strong fighters in the K1 bantamweight division, which is kind of true. A lot of those guys are kind of unknown. And a lot of the guys that you see in who are really great are actually on Rise. You can argue that Rise has stronger lower weights, has lower weight divisions than K1 right now, especially with the Osaki brothers. Ryujin Nasukawa, they have bigger star potential over on Rise, and I really hope they merge with Glory. I hope they become one company, because if they do, that means we could get Rise on the zone. And I would stay up early to watch that, or stay up late to watch that. I really would, because I'd be able to watch it, and I'd get English commentary. I don't care if it's shit. I just want to watch it, but that's the point. Okay, following the departures of Taito Gunji and Masashi Kimura, the promotion announced that as a main night, the contrary team K-1 and Toma Kuroda has been concluded. And this is another thing about that. Again, it just tells you about it. And he recently fought at Space 1, which Nadaka fought on, and he won by the first round against Chuck D. Not the Chuck D that a lot of people know who fought and won. I think it's another Chuck D. That's beside the point. So again, like he went to go do a kickboxing match over in China with the Space 1. Space 1's a Chinese promotion no one's ever heard of. Kind of like Wulin Feng or WLF Kickboxing, the biggest one, and Gloria Heroes. I think that's like a one that's kind of coming up. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. And again, I just don't know what to think of K1 now. They're losing everyone, and that's bad for them. But it's just a rough time for K1 right now. It is a brutal time to be a K1 fan. But other than that, though, on to the last news I got for you today. Johnathan Di Bella is okay with defending his interim title. Why? Because Prajanchai has floated the idea of not fighting him. And although I don't have an article with me here, he's quite literally said, yeah, I'd be willing to fight Takeru. I'd be willing to fight these Japanese fighters. I'd be willing to go up a weight division. And he's like, bro, and Johnathan Bella's like, how about you just fight me? Because I bossed up and they had a close fight, which Prajanchai kneed and clinched like multiple times, like it was a Muay Thai fight, and didn't lose a single point. And even then, I still had John winning. I know I'm biased towards North American fighters and Canadian fighters because I'm from the United States, but like John, I thought, won the fight. The boxing matters more and kicks mean a little less, because in kickboxing, spectacular moves matter more. And Johnathan was lighting up Prajanchai with the boxing. The only issue he had is that he didn't have much of an answer for the left round kick. And once John figured that out, the way he was able to stop Same from kicking him, a guy who's just as good as kicking as Prajanchai, although albeit washed. People always talk about he couldn't finish him. He 5-0'd him easy and hurt him like 3-4 times. What are you on? Whatever. People talk about being an unimpressive performance. No knockout? No knockout mean bad. Shut up, clown. That's literally people who talk like that. I hate that. He no get finish? Oh, he bad fighter. Go to the R word division down the hall and admit yourself there, clown. Anyway, that's what I was saying. So, yeah, again, he did an interview with Nick Gatkin. Love Nick Gatkin. Good guy. Always interviewing good people. And they basically, again, he just floated the idea. It was a long one. It was like a long interview he did with John. But this is the big crux of it of like, hey, this might be a John Jones, Tom Aspinall situation. Would you be willing to defend your title, like the interim title? And John's like, yeah, sure. Just simply put, give me a fight. So, and yeah, let's listen to what John has to say.
But at this point, if he says, no, I'm not going to fight Di Bella, would you entertain another fight?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind defending my interim title. If he's still going to be the champion and, he wants to go a different division, I don't mind defending my interim title. I don't mind. I just want to I would like to fight him. That he's a champion, so I got to beat him first. That would be my first choice. But if I have to continue fighting he wants to go fight other guys, yeah, I don't mind defending my interim title if that's a thing.
All right. So, basically, John's like, all right, cool. I'm going to throw down. I'll play ball. I'm willing to fight anyone. So, again, that's kind of like a freaking insane situation. And normally I wouldn't be against it if we haven't seen the Chatri Sityodtong one championship privilege of, again, Nabil beating the shit out of Superlek in a 3-round fight, and then after that, because Superlek was stripped, they didn't promote Nabil Nane. Why? Because his name is Nabil Nane, not Superlek. Because, again, he's associated with Team Merizatu, and they don't want to promote him. Why? Because Superlek is one of the biggest stars right now. And that is just disgusting. It's disgusting favoritism. And the fact that a company's willing to do that, like, again, you must call it out. People like me Fans gotta constantly shit on this. When we're shitting on the Rodtang matchmaking before he faced Takeru, that was just. He vindicated himself by beating Takeru, although Takeru was injured. Just saying. We still would have lost anyway, but just saying. I'm a coper. I'm coping. But that's beside the point. Again, man, like, it's just an absurd privilege. And again, John Di Bella is very much the underdog in one championship. They got nothing. They don't like this guy. They don't want to see him succeed. Chatri, I think, fucking lies when he says things like, yeah, I want Johnathan to succeed. He'd be the biggest star in the world. I don't think you think that, man. I don't think you think that. I think you want Johnathan to fail. I don't really believe that. Chatri loves Johnathan Di Bella. Alright, guys, so this is immediately after John beat Sammy. And what does fucking Chatri say? What does Chatri say? Well, let's see what Chatri says. So let's go here.
Love Johnathan. Definitely, he's one of the greatest pound-for-pound strikers on the planet. But I'm always puzzled why he cannot finish anybody. So this is my feedback to him.
Dude just won the belt. He's sitting right next to him. Hey, I love you, man, but you can't finish anybody. You fucking suck. Oh, who the fuck does this? This is crazy. Imagine if your promoter was shitting on you. Again, like that. I don't think Dana White has shit on a guy sitting right next to him. And he's trying to be all passive about it. Like, see, I love him. He'd be the biggest star ever. He's one of the best in the world. But he can't finish anyone, though. But he's the best, but he can't finish anyone, though, guys. He's really good, but he can't finish anyone, though, guys. But yeah, it's absolutely absurd that he would just say this right next to them after he won a belt. Why would you do this? That's just unacceptable, dude. Like, I'd be like, hey, he's a great fighter. Let's set up the fight with Prajanchai. Let's do it in North America. I'd just hype up the fight. I'd hype up the fight. Why would you do this? It's like you're actively trying to get people to shit on him. Because Prajanchai literally said the same thing. He doesn't have a killer instinct. You're like, why would you do this? This is just favoritism. And it's favoritism disguised as constructive criticism. That's what I think it is. But let's keep listening.
Please show me some finishes, and then he's going to be the biggest star in the world. I think, sorry, I love you. I'm an incredible striker, but I thought he could have finished Islam A in the second round. Second round, he could have finished it. If he had the killer instinct, he could have finished the fight. So, yeah, I would love to see John.
If he had the killer instinct, he beat the shit out of Sammy for 5 rounds straight. He butchered his leg, rocked him 3-4 times. What more do you want? Like, again, if he's not a finisher, he's not a finisher. Again, fighters fight how they fight. John doesn't fight like a coward. He doesn't run. He tries to fight. When he fought Zhang Paiman, that was an insane fight. Oh, remember, when he fought Zhang Paiman, and because Chatri was mad that Zhang Paiman lost because he wanted that Chinese market, he called the head kick a fluke and wanted to strip John while offering him no fights. By the way, because John's like, I don't have any fights lined up. What's he talking about? And I'll even show you that article. I will show you that article.
For sure. I think that fight is the next fight. It's the two of the world's greatest strikers on the planet. I want to see it.
I like how Frank's in the background. I don't know why I like Frank. The way Frank looks as he's about to speak alien speak, I don't know why I fuck with Frank. Even though, again, I want to learn Thai. I think it's a nice language. Just because I want to go to Thailand, too. I want to get in shape, man. I want to be a good amateur again. I'm a clown for that. Anyway, so... But yeah, here's that article. Here's that article I was telling you guys about by Beyond Kickboxing. Chatri Sityodtong with harsh words for one strawweight champion, Johnathan Di Bella. We might strip him. What did he say about John after he... Okay, so Johnathan Di Bella, why doesn't he have any fights booked? He doesn't want to defend his title. We want to book a rematch with Zhang Paiman. He did this in Thai, by the way. This is 2 years ago now. And again, he absolutely called him trash and said that his last round knockdown was a fluke against Zhang Paiman. A head kick that he set up beautifully and caught Zhang Paiman with. That's a fluke, according to him. But whatever. And, okay, so as you say, he lost because he knows... I can't believe just reading it. All right, cool. He doesn't want to defend his title. He wants to book a rematch with Zhang Paiman, but he knows that after 4 rounds he lost, like easily. In the 5th round, he fluked and head kicked Zhang. We might strip him. Okay, how could he possibly lose 4 rounds and get a head kick? Okay, 4 rounds, and then you win 1, that's a 10-8. He still would have lost. He would have needed 2 knockdowns to make it a tie. But that's not what happened. It was a good fight. John Paimon's a good fighter who can adjust, and he couldn't adjust in that fight. And once John figured him out, he dropped him and clearly won the fight. But of course, Chatri, because his precious Chinese fighter, lost. And I like Chinese fighters. I picked Wei Reed to pick Jonathan Haggerty, but John shut me up, and he proved a lot of doubters wrong because a lot of people were doubting him. He's a great fighter, though. I want to kind of talk about Jonathan Haggerty again one day, but not today. I'm too busy. All right. He's the champion, but he doesn't want to defend this title. It's a pity. No, I understand. When you get the one belt, you get dignity, fans, sponsorships, lots of things. So you become a movie star. He's from Canada. In Canada, he's a superstar, but he fights a Chinese fight. But he fights a Chinese fighter and loses. I understand, but it's not fair. In the sport, you have the opportunity to fight the. I don't think this is well translated, or Chatri's stuff isn't that well. But anyway, Jonathan responded, right? And check this fight out. It's a great fight. It's not the first. Okay, so basically, he just trashes him. So what John said here in response is, it's not the first time the promotion has struggled to keep its athletes satisfied. Remember Miss Mexon, where they wouldn't give her fights and she had a dispute. She's still fighting, though. Lost to Jackie Buntan. Hopefully I can get an interview with her. And they were in legal disputes with them. Again, Dmitry Menshikov having issues at one. But let's see what John had to say about this. Since I won my title, I haven't heard from one. No congratulations, no next fight news. I've asked to fight on the May 5th card in Colorado. And the rematch at Young or Danielle Williams, since he called me out. Rumble Squad that they don't want to do those fights for over 6 months. I don't know when I will be defending my title. I saw Zhang had fought. I still wasn't sure when I was fighting next. I got offered to fight against Zhang for June. I said yes to start training camp, but they kept postponing the date without explanation. As the world knows already, my win against Zhang was not a fluke, as I gave the fans one of the best fights of the year, and it was a great fight, especially considering I fought in kickboxing 3 years before that fight. We also talked to Angelo, Jonathan's father and trainer, who's disappointed about the whole situation. All he wants for Jonathan to make a living fighting. We love the idea of one being like the UFC with kickboxing, but it's not the case. So this is back when kickboxing was in a worse place. It just was, unfortunately. This was at the end of one's golden era of kickboxing. 2023, we're in 2024. It just went radio silent with the end of Chengiz Alazov smoking Superman, and that caused that spiral. So yeah, man, kickboxing is a better place. I think one will get better, but Chatri Sityodtong needs to, again, put more stock into Japanese fighters. He has to believe in kickboxing as a sport, and guess what? Kickboxing will not be saved by Thailand. It will be saved by East Asia. It will be saved by the West, and we in the United States, the Latinx Americans, we're going to save it. But other than that, though, in all seriousness, guys, tell me what you guys think. Am I on crack? Am I low IQ? Am I reading this wrong? If I am, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. But other than that, though, that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you guys. Other than that, though, I got an interview coming up with Diego Paez, Johan Ghazali's opponent, for his one fight in June on the Joey Sai versus Nakrab undercard. So check that out. We're doing that next. Other than that, though, like, comment, subscribe, share the shit around. Tell me what you guys think. React to this shit. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everything you do. Other than that, though, you guys have a nice day. Love you guys. Take care. God bless.